Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Inside the Big Dynasty Leagues. With me, as always, is your commish, Clyde Randall Waters. And also with us this week is the accountant?
The auditor, I believe.
The auditor,
yes.
The stat
Alan
child.
Henley.
Stat child, math boy. You just pretty much call me anything but stat man, and I think I'll respond to it at this point.
I'm just going to call you co-worker. Woo woo!
Statman. What's Statman?
It was this guy. I used to watch the show. I was a big fan at the time.
Hold on. You used to watch this show?
Yeah, I used to watch this show.
Okay.
Before I got into the league, and there was this guy on there. I was kind of wanting to be that one day. He was the one that did all the stats.
There was another guy on the show?
Yeah, it wasn't me. I don't know what happened to him.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, he was shorter. He didn't wear glasses.
Yeah.
He's still dressed nicer than need be, but...
Sat in the middle still?
Yeah.
That was a different guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It don't matter. Anyway, let's take a look at last week's matchups and the happenings in the leagues. Commish, why don't you start us off?
Well, I mean, there's some things we could call out right away about last week. Week 4 of the NFL, another crazy week. Another week full of injuries, excitement, drama. Another week of things of football that really isn't football, but it affects football. Anyways, in our league, in our world, there are now no more undefeated teams. That's right. The one team left standing that was undefeated, which was Wet Stuff on Your Red Stuff in the BDL, lost this week to the Chili Dogs. That's right. That's the replacement team in the BDL.
That's right.
Knocking down the undefeated.
Having a good season too. He's sitting at 3-3 after dropping all of his team, but one guy, right? So hey, maybe he's here to make some noise.
You know, he didn't come to the draft, so was it his team?
That is true.
Is it his team?
Asterisk.
Yeah, I think it's Fast and Furious' team, just in the other league.
Exactly. I mean, the Harrison Bullfrogs did this method, but it's still the Harrison Bullfrogs team, and
Yep.
well, we see what happened with them. But, you know, like you said, Fast and Furious, Mr. Terry drafting for the Chili Dogs. Anyways, moving in that,
for dinner tonight.
there are no more undefeated teams, but Audit Man, Auditor, Stat Boy, how many defeated teams are still left in this league?
2 defeated teams are still left. Somehow...
Is that across both leagues?
No, that is not.
Yes.
Well, it's across both leagues.
Everyone in the ADL has got to win.
But everybody in the ADL already
So
has
there
to win.
are only 2 teams in the big Dynasty Leagues universe that have 0.
And they're
wins.
both in the BDL.
That's right.
Somehow, well, not somehow. Timmy Crawford, his team is, let's just be honest, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's not good.
He should have had the Harrison Bullfrogs draft for him.
Yeah, it might have ended up better.
Also, side note, congratulations to Adam on the Harrison Bullfrogs. Found out some big news this week.
Well,
His family, they're expecting again, their second child.
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh, giddy up. Way to be.
got the new job back in Cincinnati and another baby on the way.
Got it done.
Anyway, the other still defeated team here in the BDL somehow,
One shot, one kill.
some way, finding only to play the number one scoring team in the league is our very own Michael Berry. Michael Berry comes in this week as the second overall scorer in the league. Third highest scorer this week? Fourth highest scorer this week? Somewhere in there.
Third highest.
And still lost to Sarah, who was averaging 110 points, and she put up 163.
I do believe
something.
We owe watchers of the show a bit of an update. There's a correction to be had over last week.
Forgot about this break.
Last week's show, we talked about how I had finally won by a very slim margin of 0.12 points.
Mm-hmm.
We did, however, put the caveat on that stat corrections come out Thursday. Well,
they came out.
Thursday morning, I'm at work, and I'm suddenly informed that I am, yet again, a loser. A pass from Jared Goff to Cooper Kupp was changed from 10 yards to 9 yards, and my winning by 0.12 went to losing by 0.02. And auditor, if I understand that correctly, it is the lowest possible margin you can lose a game by.
That is correct. Our scoring system does not allow for any player or individual to get 0.01 points that I'm aware of. Thus, that is
crazy.
The closest you can get.
But yeah, so I'm still defeated. We'll see what happens this week.
We'll see. Anyways, on the flip side, big win for the Scarlet Pimps.
Yep.
And what was her? Oh yeah, the Timmy's Skyline Chili Slingers.
Yeah. Not to mention, this is Sarah's first win of the season. So congratulations to Sarah. Got on the board. However, at this point in the season, we're looking at some 0-6, 1-5 teams. If you're sitting at 0-6, you're all but eliminated from the playoffs at this point. Many a times you need at least 9 wins to secure a spot. We take the 2 division winners, and then the best 4 records after that?
That top 4 wild cards.
So if you already have 6 losses and have no wins, you're very behind. You got to start winning now and pray that some other people start losing. And if you're 1-5, you're still right there. You got to start winning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's take a look at some matchups from last week.
What are these?
Matchups of the week from last week.
Matchups of the week.
Commish, why don't you break down the ADL for me?
All right. So in the ADL, the matchup of week 4 was the Fast and Furious versus
drive under a semi-truck.
the Live Fantasy Association.
I don't get it.
Still don't get it.
Hot chicks. I'm still talking about the Fast and Furious.
Are they? I'm just going to call them the Hot Girl Summer Team of the ADL. So, Fast and Furious had a great season last year, and they're still moving along this season, just like last year. They put up 187 points to take down Live Fantasy Association with 163.5. Live Fantasy Association, owned by Mr. Jack Myatt, is in a situation much like Mike here, where he put up the second most points in the ADL this week and still lost because he went against the guy who put up the most points in the ADL for week 4. So here's the question. 4 weeks in, doubleheaders already behind us, one coming up down the line, but Live Fantasy Association was looking at a really promising season, and now they're like on that bubble.
Yeah.
Another loss might just knock them out for the rest of the season for going for that ADL trophy. They were also the ones involved in that big trade, which was brought up a few times in the show. Is that trade paying off?
Right now the trade does not seem to be paying off. This week they finally put up big numbers. Last week they were one of the lowest scoring teams in the league. But his team showed up this week. He ran into a brick wall in the Fast and Furious. We'll see. I think this is a trade that we'll have to look into maybe even next year to see how well this trade pays off with salary caps and keeping players and how that goes. But yeah, this win pushes the Fast and Furious to 5-1, and it drops the Live Fantasy Association to a record of 2-4. I actually got a chance to talk to the owner of the Live Fantasy Association.
Did you ask him what his team name meant?
No, I was just talking to him kind of about the game.
Waste of an interview.
And I mean, he put it real plain and simple. They outcoached him.
Why he does the math.
What did he say?
He said he outcoached him. He got outcoached.
Boring.
You can't be outcoached.
All right, what's going on in the BDL?
I'll take it. Let's see here. The matchup of the week in the BDL was the Cincinnati Bourbon Barons and the Scarlet Pimps. For the reason of, well, two of these teams were two of the most high-scoring teams, but also one team got their first win of the season and one team did not.
Ah! Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right.
That's a bummer. Darn it.
After putting up 146.38 points, the Cincinnati Bourbon Barons did in fact fall to the Scarlet Pimps with a score of 161.38. Sarah had Leonard Fournette and Nick Chubb just explode this week.
Big points there. Big points. That's like half the points that team scored this week.
Yeah, it was close. It's very close. She even did this with a 1-point Jamal Williams and a 1.5-point Vernon Davis. So very impressive. Helps when you have a 14-point kicker. Kicker's gonna kick. Yeah.
Fact.
This was a barn burner. Really needed John Ross to ball out on Monday night, and
He did
well,
not.
the Bengals
Apparently
happened.
the only 2 weeks he was going to put up points were the weeks I didn't start it. Anyway, moving on. Other notable matchups this week. We had an interesting one here in the ADL between Rip Flash Gordon or RIP Flash Gordon. If you're younger or older, I guess, than 30.
Is it R.I.P. Flash Gordon? Because doesn't he just spell it R?
I guess it is just Rip.
Lowercase I, lowercase P?
Yeah, never mind. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm wrong again. And the Paper Straws. The Paper Straws pulled off a win. They really beat them good. I mean, the Rip Flash Gordon didn't even put up 80 points. Maybe that trade didn't work out too well for them either. Or maybe they just traded a bunch of crap that seemed like it was going to be good and it wouldn't have mattered either way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Dalvin Cook's looking pretty good. I think that's just bolstering up the garbage that was kept on Rip Flash Gordon's side.
Yep.
But, on the other side here, Paper Straws, I mean, they're looking kind of good. Statman, what's the record for Paper Straws right now?
The Paper Straws are sitting at a 2-4 record, so pretty
Never
good.
Never mind.
Rip Flash Gordon.
3-3.
Yeah, Rip Flash Gordon is 4-2. Here's what I see. Rip Flash Gordon ran into Chris Godwin, and their defense scored negative points. A terrible combination. Chris Godwin put up 41.2 points, and the Baltimore defense -7. They just got smoked this week, so that hurts.
Ooh. So, in the BDL, another notable matchup, one we've already kind of hinted on so far, which is Wet Stuff on Your Red Stuff versus the Chili Dogs. And this is where our only undefeated team lost in, I would say, an embarrassingly fashion this week.
Yeah.
They lost by, let's see here, they put up 85 points and lost to Chili Dog, who scored 102.
I mean, just barely not a pillow fight.
Seriously, I mean, 102 points in any of these leagues is, you're bottom of the barrel. And when you're outscored by almost 20 points by a team that scored 102 points. Whoo! So, we'll see here. This could be just a big off week here for Wet Stuff and Your Red Stuff. If I remember correctly, their bench was pretty hot. They just played the wrong players. I wouldn't say this is any kind of alarm for Wet Stuff and Your Red Stuff. But, you got to win them when you can. And this should have been one you won.
Yeah, you look at the Chili Dogs too. He put up a magic 0.
Oh.
He put up a magic 0. He put up 2 zeros. Never mind.
Oh. Woo.
Yeah, never. I mean, 2 zeros, I guess, beats the 1 from What Stuff on
Hold
Your
on.
Own Stuff. But the 2 are on defense.
Chili Dogs still started Justin Jackson?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how he didn't get points. That doesn't seem right because Melvin Gordon didn't even play. Is Jackson hurt?
Yeah, that's why Melvin Gordon was playing.
Oh, well, he didn't even play, did he? He didn't get points. He got 0 points.
Yeah, that's true.
Some
just
guy was
just
playing.
FYI, Justin Jackson is the top drop this week so far in my fantasy league universe. Being dropped by, I believe, like 60% of teams right now.
Oh, interesting.
All right.
Interesting.
Another interesting matchup this time in the ADL was the Smitty Morgan Jagerman Jensen.
Pause. There was an issue with this one, sir. He was actually playing the Harrison Bullfrogs.
She is wrong.
Yeah, I apologize. Well, I didn't do that, actually.
Is that one I did?
Yep.
I didn't do that.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it was a good matchup between the Smitty Morgan Jagerman Jensens and the Harrison Bullfrogs. Smitty pulled off another win. The Bullfrogs lost, but they put up some points. It was exciting.
This drops the Bullfrogs to 1-5. So they are out there trying to trade a running back. They need a wide receiver.
Bullfrogs got to win. They, the Leafs are not defeated, and Smitty Morgan Jagerman Jensen had that crazy run last year where they went like 7-0 to start the season.
Yep.
They're 3-3 right now. This is keeping their season alive. They have the firepower. I think they're still looking at how to fix, the magic per se and how to get their lineup just right.
Yeah, and
They kind of look like the Browns. They got all this firepower, but not really sure how to use it.
they have Saquon, right, who's out. So they just got to find a way to win some games, get in the playoffs, and I think they have enough firepower to do it.
Look at that. Saquon's out and still put up 143 points.
Yep.
All right, let's see here. Moving into the MVPs of the week, we have the quarterback this week with the most points was Shocky Commish. Who was it?
Well, it goes to Jameis Winston.
Who?
Jameis Winston.
What?
Jameis Winston.
All right.
That's right, quarterback for Tampa Bay. He put up 32.4 points in week 4. Is this showing his real fantasy potential? Has Bruce Arians figured out how to use this guy? It's been broken for 3 seasons now.
I still think you're going to have weeks where you get bad Jameis and just get picks like crazy.
Yeah, I want to say that, but he still threw 1 pick, maybe 2 picks in this game.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take, he throw 4 or 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. I'll take that every week.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got the running back of the week, and that goes to who?
This goes to none other than Nick Chubb for the Cleveland Browns, scoring 39.3 points.
Chubb.
My question is, will the production stay? Is that something we're going to see for the rest of the season, him scoring 20, 30 points a game? Or was that just a case of Baltimore maybe even giving up a little bit, being embarrassed?
I'm going to say no. I think the Browns stumbled into using him this week, and they're not going to remember how to do it next week.
Sounds like a Browns thing to do.
I just hate the Browns, though.
Me too.
All right, next up we got the wide receiver this week who destroyed it with 41.2 points. Had the number 1 quarterback throwing to him, so it's not a surprise here. Chris Godwin with Tampa Bay.
Hype train don't stop.
Can't stop that hype train.
Man.
Woo!
Very good. And who do we got for the tight end, Commish?
Ooh, a tight end. We got Austin Hooper.
I like that.
That's what they do in the ATL.
Really?
Yeah. Every time he gets out there, it sounds like they're booing. But it's Hooper. Anyways.
Should have played basketball.
22 points this week in week 4. Is this the start of the hoop train?
He really should play basketball.
How
do you have a last name Hooper and you play football?
I'm sure he played basketball at some point in his life.
Give him the opportunity.
He's a tight end, right?
I'd rather
all
be
tight
in
ends
the
play
NFL
basketball at
than
some
the
point in their lives.
Probably, yeah. I mean, Jimmy Graham did. If you ever watched a game of Jimmy Graham. And
Antonio Gates played basketball.
first thing the announcers ever say, boxing him out in the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the kicker of the week. Who is that? My good man, the auditor.
This goes to Matt Gay.
Gay.
Of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers put up 55 points this week, allowing their kicker to put up 15 of his own points. All I can say, kicker's gonna kick.
Ain't that a fact?
And a surprising defense this week. It wasn't the Patriots.
Woo.
It was the New York Football Giants with 34 points.
Woo.
Man, did they do a good job, but they were playing, if I remember correctly, a pretty crappy team.
They were, yeah. The crazy thing, I mean, they have Danny Dimes on defense too now? I mean,
I don't know. Maybe they do.
I don't know.
And so is Danny Dimes official now?
I think so.
I heard the pundits on the other major networks that do fantasy
Oh.
sports broadcasts arguing of whether or not it was too early to give him the nickname officially.
Well, those guys don't know what they're talking about. It's not like they get paid to do it and we're just doing this for fun. We're here doing this lots of money, right?
I know. I put as much work into this as they do, I bet.
I guarantee it.
Anyways,
All right.
Danny Dimes, it's here to stay. You heard her here first.
Well, let's take a look now, since we're a week into, 2 weeks, I guess, into the divisional play, and we had the 2 doubleheader weeks out of divisional play. Let's take a look at the divisional leaders, commish. Who do you have winning the divisions in the ADL?
It's in the game, right?
Fair enough.
So divisional leaders for the ADL. In the Cheesy Gordita Crunch division, we have the Mixon administration currently at the number 1 spot with a 4-2 record. However, it is a 3-way tie there, that record, with the Red Squirrels, owned by Mr. Morgan Berry at 4-2, and then the Hairy Berries, owned by Mrs. Allison Berry at 4-2. Man, there is some football going on in that household.
Oh, yeah. The Berries are coming for Hayden.
However, Mr. Hayden Horner and the Mixon administration are currently in the number 1 spot by just a few points ahead in the scoring there to keep them there in that number 1 spot. Interesting thing here, they spent no dollars in the blind bidding world. That's right, they're rocking their original drafted team. Fancy.
Well played.
All right, looking at the other division in the ADL, which is the Nice division, or the Nice D.
I get it.
We have at 5-1 the Fast and Furious.
All right.
Yep, we're sitting alone 5-1. We talked about them a little bit tonight. That team is built for a playoff run. Last year, they looked like they were built for a championship. It got mismanaged on the way. Let's see how far Terry can take that franchise this year. But not too fast. Rip Flash Gordon, the old team owned by
Not so fast.
the commish. Yeah, not so fast. Maybe a little furious though. Anyways, that team is sitting at 4-2, right on the heels of the Fast and Furious.
All right, let's flip over to the BDL for the division leaders in that one, Mr. Auditor.
All right, we're going to go ahead and start with the Super Bowl party at my house division. Maybe it's a little bit of the cockiness, maybe it's not, but this is the division with 2 of our defeated teams and 1 team 1-5. Not looking so great at the bottom of this division, but the top 3 teams are all 4-2, and that is Wayne Enterprise, Get Off Me!
Get off me!
Get off me.
And the San Francisco 69ers. Currently, Wayne Enterprise is sitting at the top of the division with 2 divisional wins, as well as 615 points for, scoring the most points in the league currently. We'll go ahead and take a look at the commissioners class now. Every team in this league, division I should say, has at least 3 wins. Top to bottom, very solid. It's going to be a crazy race in here. Nobody's secured anything yet. However, sitting atop of the division is me. the Convicted Llamas and Wet Stuff on Your Red Stuff. Convicted Llamas is on top of Wet Stuff on Your Red Stuff, having two divisions.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Having 2 divisional wins, as well as having the most points scored in the division.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's take a look at the injuries from last week that are notable. Big one this week is Devontae Adams.
Whoa.
He's going to be out for at least 2 weeks with turf toe. So, yeah, he put up some monster points, and then he got hurt.
Wow.
We got Jamal Williams with a concussion. He's day-to-day. Christian Kirk, high right ankle sprain, out for at least 1 week. This is a big one, I'm guessing, for somebody here. Mitchell Trubisky is likely to miss at least 1 week since he dislocated his shoulder.
Ouch.
And then Josh Allen is day-to-day with a concussion.
One last one to add in here. This just came in, but rumors are flying around that John Ross is on the injured report now and has an injury that could be sidelining him for this week's game.
All right. Well, there you go. Awesome.
Literally, as this is going on, this conversation's happening.
All right. Next, let's take a look at next week with our last 4 minutes here. We got next week's matchups of the week.
Matchups of the week.
What do we got going on in the BDL commish?
In the BDL, the matchup of the week is going to be the battle of who's going to get their first win. That's right. It's the 0-5 Chili Slingers versus the 0-5 Bourbon Barons. Somebody has to win. It might as well be one of them, right?
I hope it's me.
Let's see here. Bourbon Barons, like we said earlier, second highest scoring team in the league. They're going against the Chili Slingers, who are currently the lowest scoring team in the BDL. So, as of right now, Bourbon Barons, you are favored.
All right.
But you were favored last week as well.
Yes. Well,
I didn't get a chance to look up any of the overall stats for this, but knowing that the Bourbon Barons' overall win percentage in the 6 seasons of this league is barely capping the 30% mark, I'm going to say the Chili Slingers have beaten them a lot in the past.
they have.
But this time, I think it's going to be different, and hopefully the Bourbon Barons will come away with their first win of the season.
And if not, Chili Slingers, you're welcome. I don't know what it is I'm doing, but I'm letting people put up 160 points every week, even when they shouldn't. Next up, let's take a look at the ADL. Sir, how many do we got, or who do we got there?
We have 2, and we have A Team Has No Name, owned by PJ, that team was your old team, and the Smitty Werber Jagerman Jensen's. I can't believe I get that out of my mouth every time I say it, but I do.
You know, I heard he was number 1.
He is. The Smitty Werber Jagerman Jensen's are number 1.
But they're only 3-3. How are they number 1?
But they are only 3-3, so I don't know. But they are playing the, I believe, 1-5. A Team Has No Name. Kind of hard to fit that one in there. Usually start with a the. A Team Has No Name.
The team has no name?
Yeah,
Stick to the numbers on there. The team has no name.
It's A Team Has No Name is his name.
I would say it as A team has no name.
A team.
Yeah.
A team. A team.
I would just, if you're
It's not a name!
if you're gonna put the, you take out the A. It will just be the team has no name.
But you
Not
can't, it's not
the
a
team.
name. That's
You could say the A team.
All right, look, we got a minute left.
Anyway,
Just who do you think's gonna win?
it's going to be a close battle by the predicted scores. However, I feel like I have to give this one to the Smitty Werber Jagerman Jensen's, as I feel like A Team Has No Name team has kept its old trends, scoring less points than they really ever, they should score a ton, and they scored none.
Ain't that a fact?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get your NFL pool picks in. There is money on that.
Yeah.
Set your lineups this week.
Quick update in the ADL. Harrison Bullfrogs still number 1 in the pool picks. 42 correct picks.
Ooh.
And then the BDL is the EBDBBNB with 45 correct picks.
All right, set your lineups. Next week we're going to go over more of the Commissioner Cup stuff. Have a great week of fantasy. I hope you pull off a win, unless you're Timmy because you're playing me. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.